Looks like a nice place to live. We're about 100 yards from the ocean, about the size of a football field. This is what the building looked like before we purchased it. The place was just filled with trash, really unappealing. It's landlocked, has no yard, stuck at the back of a parking lot, surrounded by cars. This is our sort of stab at urban gardening. It's kind of what it looks like now. We have trees planted in whiskey barrels because we don't have a yard. The building was part of the shoemaking business about 100 years ago, back when we used to make stuff. It had a barn door for moving stuff in and out from the second floor. It had a block and tackle. We've taken the barn door off and put a window in its place. This is what they made in the building. It was part of a shoe lift kind of a thing. We found thousands of them stuffed in corners. The barn door from the inside. The building was owned by a painting contractor before I bought it, and this is where he kept his ladders and paints and supplies. We took the barn door out and put a window there, and that's sort of what it looks like now. Much more attractive than you can see out of it. The building sat on the market for about a year prior to us finding it, and 100 people looked at it, and 100 people thumbed their nose at it. They couldn't figure it out because it didn't have a toilet. It had no water or sewer coming into it. They never did that over all these decades. So I looked at it and said, gee, that's just perfect. So I took it, and we had backhoes here for a long time. All the utilities and plumbing and heating systems and wiring and pipes and such are all brand new. They're 4-zone heat. Miles worth of wire. This was our bathroom. Used it for a long time in the beginning. Eventually we had some fresh water running, and we had a small sink. As we started to make a bathroom, as you can see through these pictures, it starts to grow. There's a toilet, and when the day that we had the toilet working for the first time, we actually had a party. That's a big deal. A lot of people don't pay attention to basic things like that are actually very important. So we built a nice bathroom that included some nice fixtures, and even gave it a nice shower with a car wash. It had all these jets that help keep you clean. On the first floor in what we call the basement, this is sort of what it looked like. It was just filled with stuff, but fortunately my wife Deb has the opportunity to work from home, and so we built her a cubicle down there, and a gym. We have a place to work out. Sometimes it's cold here, 8 degrees below zero in January, and sometimes it snows a lot. The being right next to the ocean, the winter storms just sweep in and deposit more snow than we care to shovel. And this is what the garage on the first floor looked like in the beginning. It was just filled with residue of automobile parts. There was even a Model A automobile hanging from the ceiling. We jackhammered out the floor, and these guys are shin deep in wet cement as we're pouring a new floor that day. Interesting process. And this is what the shop looks like now. We've got the radio alarm saw and a good place to be able to park the truck so that it's safe and dry. have pallet racking for all the supplies. This was the office for the painting contractors, the only room that actually had sheetrock. And we decided to turn that room into our bedroom. And this is sort of what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. Had to build closets to make it work. And this is what I call the den. If you look at the end, there's sort of a door down there, and when we first looked at it, it was just filled with scaffolding and letters and garbage. And this is what it looks like now. Sort of a library. I have a thing for hardcover books. I like living in a library. It's handsome. Urban gardening. I have to have a kitchen, and this is what the space that we started out with. You can see all the woodwork and the beams were black, and you can see the kitchen starts to grow. We used all beadboard instead of sheetrock. You don't have to sand it, you don't have to tape it. And this is what the kitchen sort of looks like now. It's a galley kitchen. It's not huge, but it has all the functionality that we need. And here we are today. Even have kind of a dining room in front of the nice big window. The staircase going upstairs was very primitive when we took over. Had a very sort of a rustic, well, basic functional but temporary staircase, and we took that out and built a new set of stringers and poured a concrete footing to make everything nice and safe and strong. Newel posts there. Everything is made out of solid red oak, which is a beautiful material to work with. The staircase took us 7 weeks to build, so this is just a few of the many photos that we've taken along the way. We decided to stain it a very rich color. It looks great. The grain of red oak always shows up beautifully. Beautiful newel post. And this is the living room. You can see why nobody wanted to buy this building. It was just filled with literally garbage. I couldn't even see the floor when I first looked at it. It was just piled full of boxes and barrels and such. The floor, in fact, was so weak that in many places you could almost fall through. So we had to repair all of that and lay a new subfloor. You can see the bricks have many scars from over the years. And this is what the bricks in the beam look like after we sandblast it using a product called Black Beauty. A messy process, but it turns out beautiful. And back there in the corner, we put a gas-fired Franklin stove, place for a fire. We call it a fireplace now. It's nice on chilly October evenings. And this is what it looks like today. Hope you enjoyed our visit.